Good day. You're welcome again to our self-clarity program. In the previous video, you must have watched the introductory to the first module, which is about personal diagnosis. In that module, I made mention of the fact that you need to start from self-discovery. You see, there's something about you that has fashioned you for a particular purpose. There's something about you that has fashioned you for a particular course in life, that fashioned you for a particular career. So you need to find out these pertinent things about yourself. That's why you need self-discovery. How possible will it be for a fish to leave the sea and swim in the sand? How possible will it be? Can you think about it? See, the fish has some abilities. It has some things that are particulate to a fish to make it swim in the water, which will never work for it on the ground. So there's something particular about you that has been specifically fashioned for you to function in a particular place. See, if you just want to live a life of how it comes, it's fine. But if you want to live a life of purpose and fulfillment, if you want to live a life of impact, a life that will be reckoned with, then you must begin from a point of self-discovery. You need to uncover your strengths and your weaknesses. You need to know where you can function and where you cannot function. I started on in life as a very brilliant student. My primary school, my secondary school. So I was poised to become a medical doctor. Apart from expectations of my parents, of my teachers, of my colleagues, I also wanted to be a medical doctor. You see, in life, we all function at particular levels based on the amount of knowledge that we have. So at that stage of my life, based on the knowledge that I have, I believe I should be a medical doctor. But as I progressed in life, I began to uncover who I am. I began to know that I'm someone that abhors routine. I'm someone that gets bored with repetitive actions. I'm someone that doesn't need to cram things. I desire to create things. I want to fashion new course, not follow a dogma. So I found out that the medical practice is more of a dogmatic practice. The disease conditions you have to learn about, learn symptoms and signs, and then when you give a doctor prognosis, it's more about what you've learned and you have in your head or what you have in a book. I was gonna get bored doing that in my life. I found out that I'm someone that is good with the words, either speaking it or writing it down. I love to create with words. How would that work as a medical doctor? So I found out that medical practice was not for me. But I didn't find that out until I have actually taken a step towards being a medical doctor. For a fact, I had enough reasons to be a medical doctor. I could remember while I was seeking admission to the university, my dad took me to a professor at the University of Ibadan. The man saw my WAEC results and saw my JAMB results, and he looked at my father with a stern look and said, "What is your son doing at home? You should be in second year medicine by now." My dad said, "Yes, we actually want him to be a medical doctor, and he also wants to be one, because at then I still wanted to be a medical doctor." The man was, "No, no, 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 your son cannot spend another year at home. He must be studying medicine." I had enough reason to become a medical doctor. I scored 324 in JAMB. That was more than enough to be a medical doctor. But unfortunately, I got admitted to study microbiology, and that was when I started uncovering myself. That was when I found out. Earlier in life, I've always written stuff, I've always tended towards reading books, speaking, and all of that. But I never really saw that as what I need to build upon until my first year as a microbiologist. See, I have my microbiology certificate now. I have not used it for anything microbiology. See, you don't have to go down the wrong lane for years before you know where to go. I was privileged some months ago to be in a community of medical doctors. This was not in Nigeria, it was an online platform. These were medical doctors practicing in the UK. So there was a senior medical doctor in that group. She actually had a survey of over 100 medical doctors in her community. And she found out that more than 70% of medical practitioners in our community were not happy being a medical doctor. See, they've had years of study. Many of them studied 6, 7 years in the university. They had 2 years postdoctoral study. They had several years of study with several dedications, several candlelights that have been burnt. But down the line, there's a vacuum. There's a part of them that yearns for something different. Many of them wanted to go into business, many of them wanted to go into lecturing and teaching because they never started from the point of self-discovery. At one side of a woman, she was a banker for 15 years, but every time she gets home in the night, she always feels a vacuum. There's a void. There's something calling her to teach. After 15 years, she put up the letter at the bank and she resigned. She went back to the university, took up her master's, took her PhD, and she became a lecturer after 15 years in the banking industry. See, you don't need to wait till you spend years racing down the wrong lane, only to come back after a few years or many years, as the case may be, with a vacuum and a void within you, seeking another path. You can begin now on the right course when you start with self-discovery. In the next video, we'll be talking about some pertinent questions you need to ask yourself to uncover who you truly are. See, don't get me wrong. As I am here now speaking to you, I've been a thought leader. I also have a paid job. See, asking you to start with self-discovery doesn't mean you have to do one thing. See, there's a part of making money, and there's also a part of purpose. Before your purpose becomes your full-time job, you might need to use some other potentials that you have to make money. I write for a living. I talk, I teach, I strategize for people. But all these things are centered around who I am. I cannot burn out writing. But you see, I would have made a very intelligent medical doctor, but a very frustrated one. That is the truth. Because I couldn't imagine myself sitting behind a desk in an hospital waiting for patients to come and they tell me their signs and symptoms and I guess the conditions right and prescribe a drug based on the test they bring. That would burn me out. So I enjoy you to keep a date with us as we go along this journey of uncovering who you are and getting you to live your ideal life. Joining me in the next video where I'll be telling you questions to ask yourself to uncover who you truly are, and that will lead you to discover what you should truly be doing. I trust it's been a lovely time. See you again in the next video. Take care.